Which dirt bike should you buy? First, we only ride enduro bikes, so we'll focus on that because it's what we know, sort of. And there will be some emphasis on slower, harder riding because that's our specialty. Chasing a motocross, adventure dual sport or kids bike? Sorry, look elsewhere. First, please don't ask us for a specific bike recommendation for your situation. At the very least, we would need to know all the following, then spend a day riding with you before giving you any advice. And it would be shit advice anyway. Next, don't get too hung up on what you buy. The vast majority of dirt bikes are very good nowadays and will be more capable than 99% of us will ever be. We reckon it's 80% the rider and only 20% the bike. So worry less about which bike you buy and actually just learn to ride better. So should you buy new or second hand? A good rider on a 20-year-old clunker will always whip the ass of an average rider on the latest Eurotrash wonder bike with anodized billet grease nipples. But there are advantages to buying brand new. We've done a whole video on this topic. Here are the main points. Next is whether to buy a 2-stroke or a 4-stroke. As a very rough rule of thumb, 4 strokes will suit less experienced riders better. Experienced riders will be better at handling a 2-stroke's power delivery, and they are pretty much the bike of choice for extreme enduro riding. But for more open tracks, the 4-stroke could be your cup of tea. Again, we've done a whole vid on this topic. Here are the main points. Shorter and taller riders often ask which bike will suit them better. We'll discuss this a bit later, but rest assured there are plenty of mods no matter which bike you choose. Here's a summary. See our vids for more information. Guys often debate which size engine they should get. Many want the most powerful engine possible for roosting, power slides and wheelies. Fine if that's your thing, but if you are actually serious about developing your skills and not hurting yourself, you will usually be better off with a smaller or more docile engine while learning. If you do plan on learning quickly, consider a more powerful bike, but tame it down at first with, say, a G2 throttle tamer, mapping switch or power valve adjustments for 2 strokes. And this is a key point. All the world's top extreme enduro riders agree. If you want to become a skilled, fast dirt rider, first you need to learn at low speeds and develop your balance, traction, and throttle and clutch control. If you really want to become a talented dirt rider, choose your dirt bike with this in mind. A light bike is great for enduro riding, especially if you plan on some gnarly, snotty terrain. Let's start with the heavier bikes and work down to the featherweights. The 4-strokes are getting quite light nowadays and only around 5 to 10 kilograms heavier than the 2-strokes. The extra weight can be an asset on faster tracks as the front end feels more planted. Power delivery, good for beginner riders, and even experienced riders often love the traction, smoother power and more relaxed riding style on open flowing tracks with a 4-stroke. But as you get into slower and harder terrain, the thumpers become more likely to overheat, stall, and use more effort to handle that weight. You really can't go wrong with your choice of 4-stroke enduro bike nowadays. The KTMs probably have the edge for racers or tall, very experienced riders. The beaters probably have the edge for everyday riders due to the lower seat height and excellent power delivery. The Yamahas, more dated, a heavier design, but they'll still do the job. Enter the 2-stroke enduro bikes, the choice for anyone serious about extreme enduro. Hard to stall, and they'll plug away at ridiculously low revs. Very lightweight for throwing them around and lifting them out of tricky spots. But the light front end and that power delivery often means they take more energy to ride on open, faster flowing tracks. Again, all the bikes in this class are great, and most reviews tend to favour the Beta for everyday riders and the Kato or Husky for racing or very fast experienced riders. Motocross Enduro conversions. I hesitate to include these because even when you tame the engine down with an Enduro conversion of a motocross bike, it usually takes a very experienced rider to handle the power. If you go down this road, the Yamaha YZ250 is widely regarded as the best two-stroke bike for converting due to excellent suspension and the most suitable power delivery. We've done a whole video series on these conversions. Have a look to see if it might suit you. The hybrids. This is a relatively new class of bike. These are somewhere between a trials bike and enduro bike, with extremely lightweight, very low seat heights, user-friendly power, excellent turning circles, and plush suspension more suited for slow technical terrain. The Beta Cross Trainer and KTM Freeride are the only widely available bikes, and both are great for short riders and or very slow, tough terrain. The Freeride about halfway between an enduro and trials bike. The Beta Cross Trainer is much closer to the enduro end of the spectrum. I've ridden both bikes a lot. This graph should help to explain the difference, and see our video reviews too. There you go guys, hopefully this will help you choose a suitable bike, and remember we have over 400 free enduro vids on these topics and more.